Today, I want to talk about one of the leading causes of death in America and how it affects not just the person who died, but the family as well. My hope is that this is the wake-up call someone might need to get the help that they deserve. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention reports that in 2012, 40,600 suicides occurred in America. That means that every 12.9 minutes a suicide occurs and we lose someone we care about. And the statistics I'm about to present, the CDC reports out of every 100,000 people. So that means if 100,000 people were lined up, that is how many people out of 100,000 that will have been affected. In the last 12 years, the rate of suicide has increased from 10.4 to 12.5 deaths out of 100,000 deaths. Now that we know how many deaths occur, let's look at the statistics on who is more likely to commit suicide. In 2012, the highest rate of people that committed suicide was the age group 45 to 59 years old. That rate was 19.88 deaths out of 100,000 deaths. In the past, it has been the 15 to 24-year-old age group. But in 2012, it decreased down to 10.9 deaths. The stereotype of suicide is that it's teenagers and young adults. But the stereotype is wrong. Men are 78.3% more likely to commit suicide than a woman is. 65% of all suicides in 2012 was a white male. Geographically, the states rank in the top 5 of suicides. Wyoming, 29.8 deaths. Alaska, 23. Montana, 22.5. New Mexico, 21.3. Utah at 21 deaths per 100,000 deaths. Now that the sterilized, cold, hard facts are out of the way, it's time to look at the raw, emotional, family facts. 40,600 people killed themselves in 2012. That means that 40,600 families were left to pick up the pieces. That means that 40,600 people and families were left to figure out what to do and the what ifs. 50% of that 40,600 people used a gun. That means that 20,300 people had to be found by a loved one. 20,300 people had to see the trauma that a bullet does to a body. In 2012, my friend shot himself. He is a statistic that I am reporting today that CDC reported online. What they didn't report, that I was one of 5 people who found him dead. I was one of 5 people who saw the trauma his body went through, who heard the gunshot, who ran to go help him. I was one of 5 people who will constantly ask, what if? What if I had been faster? What if I had answered to the shot right then? What if he had called me? I saw the trauma his body went through. I held his brothers in arms as they screamed, as they begged for him to be alive, as they shook his body. I sat there as his best friend called his dad. I heard his cry on the phone, wanting it to be a joke, wanting his son to still be alive. My friend wasn't thinking about his friends and family when he pulled that trigger. He was dead. He had no feelings left. He was free. Those left still have to fight every day to keep going without him there. I understand being down, feeling like there's no other choice, there's nowhere else to go, you've hit rock bottom. I am also a statistic. I am one of the self-harm statistics. I tried killing myself in 2010. My niece is the only reason that I am still here to talk about this. In 2010, I got behind my four-wheeler thinking that there was no point in being alive because I'd lost my child. I put the four-wheeler to the house and I went at full gun. My niece popped her head in the window, and she is the reason I am still alive because I thought of my family first. Suicide is the most selfish way to die. You aren't thinking about the pain you're going to cause everybody else. You're only thinking about ending your pain. My aunt lost her husband to suicide. He didn't think about her pain. Every day she wakes up wishing it was a dream and he was beside her. She makes comments, I have to go tell Brian this, I have to tell my husband that. And then she realizes he's gone. She goes to bed at night wanting to be with him, wishing that. I beg that if you're contemplating ending your life, reach out. Call a friend no matter what time of day. Call your family, that's what they're there for. Call the suicide helpline at 1-800-273-8255. If you're at the end of your rope, grab a friend's rope. They have extra just for you. Think of your family. Take a second and think of the hard times they are going to fare without you. If I affect just one person today, I have done my job. Even if one person asks for help, that's one less statistic, one less funeral, one less heartbreak, one less family left to pick up the pieces and to figure out how to keep going.